Hi, everybody, and welcome to 30-Day Challenge. Today, we're going to talk about forgiveness. One of the things that at least one of my kids, sometimes more than one of my kids, used to hate is when one of them did something to their brother or sister that didn't they did not like. We would make them apologize, and we would say you're sorry," and they're like, "Say you're sorry." Mm, say you're sorry. Like, okay, they would say sorry, but you knew they did not mean it. Why did this happen? Who taught them how to avoid saying sorry or accepting somebody else's apology? Because the other kid said, well, if you're gonna say it like that, I'm not gonna tell him that I forgive him. In our family, there are going to be disagreements. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12 says that we should forgive each other. Much easier said than done. I admit it. So, what are some practical things we can do to forgive our spouse? First of all, there's things that happen every day that you have to forgive. There's things that happen every day because your spouse is not perfect. And guess what? Neither are you. So, here's a couple of things that I want you to keep in mind. Number one, forgiving is a decision. If you wait to feel like forgiving, you probably will never forgive. You have to decide to forgive. You have to decide to forgive. Number two, how do you forgive? You act like you've forgiven them, right? Actions beget feelings instead of feelings bringing about actions. If you only do things in your life you feel like doing, there's not a lot of things you're going to accomplish. I will tell you, for example, exercising. I never feel like exercising, but I exercise every day. Not because I feel like it, but because I know it's good for me. Something happens though at the end of my exercise. I feel good about having exercise. Same thing happens to forgiveness. Number three, carrying resentment in your heart is like drinking the poison and hoping the rat will die. Not calling you a rat or anything, but when we carry resentment, we put the gun to our head and hoping the bullet hits somebody else. It always hurts you. The person who hurt you doesn't even sometimes don't even doesn't even realize they did it, first of all. And if they did, sometimes they don't even care. And you carrying this resentment in your heart. Now, the fourth thing that I want to tell you about forgiveness is that forgiveness does not mean the restoration of the relationship. In other words, if somebody hurt you and they abused you and that you had to break it off because of abuse, forgiveness does not mean that you led him back into the house. Forgiveness does not mean that you put them in a position where they continue to abuse your children. That's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is not carrying resentment in your heart towards that person. But sometimes reconnection is not possible. So those four things about resentment that I wanted you to know today. Here is the prayer for today. This is not an activity. It's more like a prayer. Um, this is going to be really hard for some of you. Some of you have experienced some high trauma. The activity for today is for you to do individually with your spouse, individually from your spouse, right? I want you to write down three people that have hurt you, right? And I want you to look at that paper and I want you to ask God to help you forgive them. Once again, this doesn't mean that you're going to be best buddies the next day, but I want you to forgive them because resentment does harm in you. That is a way of self-harming, carrying this resentment and this hate in your heart. So if you do that and he does that, if you do that or she does that, both of you do it, you will see the beginning of this restoration process happen in you. I'm praying for you. If you need me to pray for you more specifically, if you're going through a really hard time, just leave it in the comment section. I need to forgive, and it's really hard for me. And I will unite my prayer to yours. That's what we're here for. All right. This has been 28. That's the last month. This has been the 30-day challenge for couples. If you watch this, just let me know in the comments. I'm watching, Pastor. I'm doing the challenges. This is how it's going for me. I'd love to hear from you. Remember, at the end of this challenge, we're going to have a nice gift, among other things that we're going to give away. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. And thank you for allowing us to come into your homes, into your lives. And I'm hoping that you allow restoration and healing, forgiveness to come into your heart as well. May you be blessed. May you have a wonderful rest of your day.